So a little bit of more experience for Nixon in that department, but pistol rounds already starting in Copenhagen Wolves. This not being their map pick, will be starting on the defense. Tapeware already getting his world rocked.
Yeah, indeed. Gets a headshot to the face. CPH backs it up with yet another one to Matthias. A bit of a rough world for the Copenhagen Wolves. Mix completely blazing over them. One punch to the face after the other. And Nixon, with only 15 points of health, only needs a bullet to deal with. Juan Flatro, come on, wanting to join in on his brother's success. CPH with 3 already to his name. Chase on for more. ARCRED drops, but boom goes the dynamite, Ted. The end of the story is that Mix take over this round in the flash. Yep,
CPH just, that's his style, right? That's how he rolls. Blaney, in the end of the day, will take him down, but Scenario's there to back him up, so...
Into mid, but opt out of it with the chaos caused, the commotion rather, the smokes, the flashes, keeping the CTs at bay. But as we approach that 1 minute 10 second mark, you can quickly see Mix approaching apartments practically. CPH has escaped through the cracks. Oh no! Oh, at least he's got a good spray transfer in him because that first shot accuracy wasn't it. And at least he's got the previous rounds to back up his score as well. Low on health, but the cross from apartments is damn smooth, and it feels like it's a CPH Juan Flatro combo this entire game so far.
They're absolutely magnetic. You just can't stop them, man. You know when they start off a map like this one, it's going to be a long day, or a pretty short one, for the Copenhagen Wolves in the server. CPH just goes for the early boost in towards the window, makes his way in towards Kitchen, called it lovely timing on the third player that was rotating in back from Ticket as well to watch for the cross. They just had no clue, and sure, the first kill was not clean, but it didn't really matter as long as he got it. Flatro as well, quite clinical with the second. They even tried to flash Blaney in T-spawn. That would have been a pretty sweaty play.
And this kind of exuberance, this aggressiveness that they show, this blink and you miss it in your face response from Juan Flatro and CPH. The rest of Mix attempting to line up this A hit, and it's 4 players strong. It could be quite explosive, and no one is looking towards this connector position. Suddenly they do, but within the smoke center will reveal himself. Yorko, quick Mix, and AK now being collected, and Mix trying to make their way onto the site. They've left Nixon unchecked, and he'll be able to get one pick off the process of it. Smoke in his face, so still trying to weave himself in and out of battle. Bieleni, nicely done there, holding his own with a 2-piece. Copenhagen Wolves have already put a stop to this attack.
What a lovely defense. Fantastic work from the comp player of Jorko there, being able to shut down the flank. That was the one difference maker. Drops that rifle instantaneously to his teammate of Blaney, and he was the one to be able to find a double with it. A-stack working out perfectly. Nixon as well from underneath Palace. So for ARCRED, I guess you're just left with the sole task of trying to get a couple of those guns out of the hands of the CTs, inflict a little bit of economical damage with the Galil. Not gonna happen. Lovely reaction coming out of the young Bulgarian on the rifle. It's a double for him, a double for the pole, 1 for Nixon.
Starting to see some AWP action as well. ARCRED on the big green. Bomb left behind as a wide spread here for Mix, but an early exploration from Matthias. It pays off. 1 pick for Copenhagen Wolves already. Even though he's taken low, Mix are quickly responding to it. Juan Flatro interrupted by Bieleni's position, and you might want to rethink the situation. You're 2 players down for Mix.
You've heard 3 guys right now in towards that A-bomb side, so you know you were running into a bit of a hard setup. There's probably some space to be taken in towards middle. Thing is, you still need to set up CPH and Tapeware. No reason to be looking elsewhere right now. So this timing is not going to go their way.
Duffy holding his ground in case Copenhagen Wolves challenge. But you're not really going to be winning 1v2s, but you might be able to isolate Bieleni. But there's Bieleni first with a headshot. And ARCRED misses the timing on the first swing. The world is closing in on him, man. The map is becoming smaller and smaller, but he takes a couple of prisoners in the process. But Copenhagen Wolves with a back-to-back round success streak.
You might want to take contact right now. Your mid players are throwing caution into the wind, and you know the short guy is going to be occupied with it, meaning Tapeware is all alone for the time being.
It's just jiggle distance now. No overshots taken. Matthias gets caught, and now suddenly there might be 2 positions that could be taken up, though. CPH didn't realize his SWAT positioned with his opponent, and all of a sudden, chaos committed in mid. Yorko holding on for a little longer. Juan Flatro taking down. A bit of trouble now for Copenhagen Wolves. How do you collect the pieces, center? You're able to find the 1 pick. CPH can't hold his life down to the HE, and that's Yorko now with a flick of the wrist with the AWP. That's how you get the lead here for Copenhagen Wolves.
Might want to push forward.
Yeah, you can't help but feel Copenhagen Wolves playing with 1 foot out of that A site. So, importance for Xiaofi's position. That is an incredible pickup to find there from Jorko. Scoped in right in the correct position. And now Mix trying to react off the back of it, maybe to find some success. HG to break through the smoke. No one revealed in the process. Scratch that. Matthews able to find Juan Flatro. Synapse walks past his opponents and suddenly he has a bit of a flank to work with, but only good for the one before he drops. Xiaofi, he was isolated from the start and now has to do some big lifting here. That's the first pick. Bieleni in the corner, and it's a bit too much for Xiaofi to handle. Copenhagen Wolves unstoppable on CT. It's as if Mix can't really find the gaps here. Maybe aggression is the way this works. Bieleni, notified of this presence, calls in for assistance quickly. Betra's players take up the space already. Jorko's flash is great, but it's just a trade for Bieleni. You need to be cautious though. Mix often take up this mid space, so you can see why Nixon decides to take a few steps backwards, allow Mix to take this A space control, but likely to see a 3-play stack in CT.
Yeah, and again, there's no flanks coming in for the T side, right? So that means they need to be a little bit aggressive. Gotta take space, either towards jungle or connector.
Trying to get the pre-fire. There is an AWP spotted out in ramp, but ARCRED gets shut down so damn quick. Matthews and Nixon spraying in smokes, and it works out. Mix on the back foot. The Juan Flatro creates a different angle to work with. And all of a sudden, Tapeware is wondering, how does he deal with this one? Knows where Juan Flatro is, but Xiaofi could have repositioned. He could have gone anywhere. But now he's revealed himself. And Juan Flatro no longer being there. Xiaofi steps up. And that's what Mix needed to get back in this game.
It's all about this final round of the half. It's a good step in the right direction, but it was the first round you've won since the first 3. You had a 3-0 lead to this game.
Look at the pace in mid. So fast. But Matthews is ready for it. No one is going to interrupt this man's flow today. Oh dear. Mix can't even get away from Palace. The molly dropped in, so Synapse is a bit isolated in that fight, and now Bomb left on its own on an island. With Xiaofi realizing his best chance is grouping up with his teammates. Some individual madness needs to happen for Mix in order for something to be unlocked for this round.
I think the madness right now is your A anchor being 16-4 for the Copenhagen Wolves. You don't see that every day, and they're even rocking the double up setup now with Tapeware and Jorko, both equipped with it. Matthews just getting away with a criminal double kill and towards middle at the beginning, so scenario Xiaofi, at least you've got a little bit of util to work with. Smoke, double flash, molly, nade. But in the 2v5, you're just hoping for a massive miss move from someone, and Jorko's got his number written down. A lovely flick from the Bulgarian.
For a moment there, I thought he missed the timing, right? He scoped up, wondering if a catwalk cross would have been more likely, and then an opponent appears to the bottom end of the screen, flick on that y-axis, on the negative y-axis, and it was beautiful. Xiaofi was able to trade out just a little bit, but this being the last round of the half means that Copenhagen Wolves, albeit with a rough start, that 0-3.
I think they didn't play too many officials with Mouse NXT, but they were, but they were still, he was still on the team. They didn't play a lot of HOTV officials, but they were still a team. They were still practicing, still playing some non-HOTV events.
Copy that. Okay. Well, this is fast-paced. Catwalk infiltration. 3 players defending, but Juan Flatro trying to hop, skip, and jump away from that fight, but I'm afraid it'll be too late for that. Xiaofi gets a double kill, and it might just buy enough time for the rest of the mixed squad to arrive. Gets caught out into the open, though, and it's all back to point position for Copenhagen Wolves.
Look at the IGO and towards jungle.
ARCRED finds the head of Matthews. Bomb does go down, and there's nothing that can be done about that now. Synapse amping up the pace. They want to catch up to the player at the back of the site before the catwalk player can approach Bieleni. He's just dancing around the site, but Synapse shows that on the pistol, he's unbeatable.
Was the play here. Looking like a B-split. Boosting towards ladder though for Xiaofi. That could be a really good play.
Looking to crash into catwalk. Great snap onto Xiaofi's head. And now Senna might be in a bit of a pickle. HG thrown in, does a little bit of damage, but MP9 out on time, and that's the important part. Looking for those headshots. Jorko jumping in on him. Superhero landing on his opponent, but Mix already have a couple of players on the backside. Somehow Copenhagen Wolves coming out on top of it. And Synapse is all by himself all of a sudden. ARCRED drops down together with his big green. And c, he clutched around before, but that was a 1v2 in a very fast-paced round. Now he's got T's all around him, and the force buy of the Wolves is successful. Really not entertaining that side of the map. Instead, divert their attention into B. The only SMG in play is the one in hand for c. And he's the one being approached by so many players. You can hear the commotion. Free upgrade. What can you do with the AK?
Oh my god.
A double kill. That's not bad, though Mateos is sneaky with this angle.
He needs to get more than one.
He's gonna get checked, surely. No. Only gets the one. So 2 versus 3, and the HE grenade secures a second mix. If they would have survived with a third, maybe a rifle could have been collected, and then the conversation could be different.
That smoke's a little bit funky. A lot of gaps around it.
Bielani knows of it. m1x tried to escape through it. Door opened up and Bielani connects with a headshot. Now knowing where ARCRED is, it's down to a duel. Surely not. ARCRED walks right into the eyes of Bielani. Shot down, 6 feet under.
He's going for more. Look at that walkout A. There's no one here. Shelfie's alone.
Oh, this is his chance to shine. He's able to find one. Is the delay good enough, though? There's a flood smoke available here for m1x, and they choose to rush right through it. m1x with 2. This is a fast-paced game, Ted. Sure, the bomb now has the time to go towards the site and plant, but it's a 2v2 on the post plant. Mateos doesn't let his opponents breathe, though, suffocating them where they stand. That's a double by the end, and 11 now for the Wolves.
Assist Matthews a little bit on his endeavors there, and then go for a bit of an A execute. There is a lot of players around that A bomb side as of right now. Unfortunately, Synopsy needs to move in towards Jungle.
Same double smokers last round. To read into it, and it's a similar play. That's a brilliant HG. Shelfie got caught.
Look at Matthews.
Down. That is a rough one. And this is where Mateos steps in, awaits in the smoke, and that's the right timing for it. m1x wondering when he should pounce. HE to drop. Smoke phase. TPuDCATb there. Look behind you, Mateos. Doesn't need to. Double kill is there for him. ARCRED far away from the action. Holding on. Gritting into this round with his teeth, but it's rough with the HE thrown to his face. Down to 55 points of health. And Copenhagen Wolves are really not giving him anything.
You don't want to
holding at ground. Letting ARCRED go to them. They've done the heavy lifting now, shooting the AWP them to master shots of the M4. The peek out from Jorko, but it's Bielani to close things out. 28 bombing, an 18-round game, 13-5 is the score as Copenhagen Wolves take down their opponents as map pick. Ah, Ted. I mean, I appreciate you, man. I honestly do, and thank you for calling me out. I feel like I need someone like that. Keep me in check. All right, well, it looks like m1x needs someone to keep them in check. Look at that. Shelfie at least gives his team a leaving breathing chance in this one, but do you really want to go for this cross? If the bomb can be collected easily, they should end up inside, but they're just grouping up as a unit. They know they've kept Senna in this cubby, so they're able to trade out their lives. Therefore, A site clear and the numbers advantage against Synopsy.
Yeah, now you've got the info as well. Synopsy giving away his position. Bomb's going to get planted. A 1v2 clutch needed, but we know how good he can be with the pistols.
He's going for the chase. Looking to see if he can isolate, but Copenhagen Wolves have just enough time to get out of it. Sticking to the defuse is probably the wisest choice here. Winning that 1v2 is likely not going to go his way. Jorko was low. So now down to TPuDCATb in the 1v1, where he just takes a couple steps backwards and then jumps in for the headshot. Copenhagen Wolves with their pistol round.
Sorry for lying.
Delusional.
Yeah, hallucinating apparently.
All right. That's a great flash. Fully takes advantage of that position, but m1x is there for backup. A double kill now has put m1x in charge. They got the numbers advantage, and for Copenhagen Wolves, they need to take advantage of the A space they've been given.
Does Fletcher realize how close Jorko could be? Answers no. Free kill for the MAC-10. Refract comes in though. Bomb will get planted, but it's a 2v3 m1x. With a one-man advantage. Kit unavailable for the CT side though. That could make things a little bit more hairy.
Hey, cool. Waiting to see when he can drop in. Oh, TPuDCATb seemed to have the right idea. Does spot his opponent, but now the information is available to the rest of the team as well. They can close in on his position. TPuDCATb going around the world. ARCRED, the first step for the teams. While the bomb is being defused, TPuDCATb is caught on a different fight. m1x That's a lot more like it from them. The first buy round of the game, and it goes their way.
At their core, B&E back in the day were, I guess, that they're strongest on the CT side when it comes down to this map, but eyes on the B rush.
Ooh. ARCRED! What a way to start the round. 1 bullet, 2 frags. And Shelfie want to keeping up the pace here. Normally you get the picks, you want to vacate the premises, but not for Shelfie. Wants to keep the pace going. Jorko looking to see if an answer is available there from him, but Synopsy also chimes in. That is a smooth as butter there for the mixed side. Could be an interesting head-to-head.
Yeah, a lot of experience versus none.
But no lack in firepower. Tapeware. That's the good answer first. Juan Flatro won't be able to escape with his life there, but with Shelfie being in that deeper angle in mid, it still keeps things even. Nixon going for the chase while the rest of the team tries to find a gap into this B site. Nixon not quite able to find a headshot first.
Shelfie's out. Oh no, Belaney, sorry.
Shelfie getting that pick leave center, very important position. And Belaney not looking in the right position at the right time. And when Jorko isn't connecting the right shot, it puts Copenhagen Wolves way behind in the round. And Shelfie jumps out of position.
Yeah, a couple of mishaps, actually, sorry. Belaney was the one on B, and it was another person on middle, but you get the point.
That thing is, for Mix, for Copenhagen Wolves, is that they are walking into a very inhabited site. Wait a minute!
What?
Mateus went so berserk, he took his own team out in the process. This could be destructive, though, because Juan Flatro is untouched. That actually could interrupt the bomb from going down, but indeed doesn't get there on time. And look at the Wolves. They want to post up closer. Smoke fades. Juan Flatro potentially caught, but now a 1v1 required with ARCRED holding on the right line. Misses the shot. An opportunity granted to Nixon. He takes that with the bat of an eye.
And it was probably the worst gun ever to be left in that 1v1 ARCRED against a non-armored Kalashnikov. Just misses the one bullet with the O.
That flash, again, superb from Jorko. He's had some brilliant supportive duties this entire series. Synopsy under a bit of trouble. Challenge from 2 different players at the same time. And it's only because of Senna that this round is kept close.
Steps heard. 2 players in towards Donut. They've given it away. Matthews has got so much information right now. They should just group up and try and refrag scenario and B, and that's the round.
Only down to Senna. If he gets a couple of kills, this is still doable. Matthews' position is checked. But takes his time here. ARCRED shut down and as soon as he approaches. Senna gets one. But again, a second is required to keep this competitive. Matthews in charge of making sure Shelfie doesn't even cross through mid. And with that, 3 players survive here for Copenhagen Wolves. That's not too bad. Straight back into the nick of things. And a potential 4th round to be collected here off the bomb explosion. Or
yeah, really good discipline.
Shelfie gets picked up here.
Does he? All right. Wins the fight, at least the first one. If you're on the T side, you probably don't want to feed him too many kills right now. You do realize your own economy is a little bit fragile, but just to get back to what went down in this round, inviting them quite bad as well to that. At least there's a little bit of residual cash left, so you can put ARCRED back on the nope. You can have everyone else on the rifles, but this is the last bite that they have in the chamber. You lose this, one Copenhagen Wolves might be running away with another comfortable lead.
Yeah, it's fine margins for sure, and Mix know of it. Synopsy, first blood for him. How does Nixon get away with that? He could have gotten a second, but the deep angle for Juan Flatro means he's unretrievable from the upper ledge. And the process takeaway wants to make waves into B. He clears out the B site like a tsunami, and by brute force, the B site is theirs.
It's just open. Bomb's gonna go down. It's a 3v3 retake, and you need this one to work out.
But steady mid. Senna's position is so impactful. Jorko, he can take another fight, but Senna has revealed himself here and can't quite get under the ledge in time. Jorko knows he's got assistance. Shelfie, sure he can get a pick here, but 2 asks too much of him. And without a kit in his hands either, and the bomb frantically getting close to its explosion, means that Copenhagen Wolves will be taking the helm for themselves now. After all, important game. You lose this, you're out from the tournament. Mateus looking for this one-on-one. His gun might be visible first. So Juan Flatro wins it with a 5-7. Peek out from Synopsy. Gets a trade. That's a double for Synopsy. Is this going to be an eco round turnaround here for the mix side? Copenhagen Wolves bolting towards B. Shelfie staying quiet. The bait is real. You're not going to check this again, meaning this is going to be a freebie. 1, 2, and there goes the Copenhagen Wolves players instantly back into this fight. 5-5, even Steven. I don't know. I'm out of it.
A diaper for a lollipop. I've got no
Sure,
idea,
if that's a trade you're willing to make, yeah. I hope it's an empty diaper. Julko. First blood for him though. It's been a while since this Copenhagen Wolves up first when it comes to this leaderboard. Mix often have had the upper hand, but this effort to put players in mid has really gone awry. Although Akel's given a bit of a gift.
That's
I feel
all the
like
info.
with the time remaining, Copenhagen Wolves have got time to just work this out.
They know everything. Scenari's the B player. I mean, you don't know exactly where he is, but you know he's on B, and, well, you found him. That's it. Round over. Acre needs to save. He can't be hoping for a 1v3 clutch like this. They know he's on A.
Most players have got cash for the next round, but there are a couple that have kept this one a little bit difficult. So a drop may be needed. I'm just wondering if Mix considers it's more important to take rifles off of his opponent's hands rather than holding onto his, and that's exactly what happens. Nixon, he's looking in the right position. It's not like the footsteps.
Was trying to do a little bit of damage, and I guess you can understand maybe he was hoping the T's didn't have a lot of cash in the bank, so he was hoping for a couple exit kills, but now the B bomb side's going to be a little bit weakened up because of it.
On Flatro. Constantly. There's this poking and prodding from Mix in mid, not really allowing the prior for free. At the same time, Copenhagen Wolves, look at the determinism. Go into this B site. Bielani is caught a timing. Seneri not really looking at the right position. Synopsy, blind as a bat, and Bielani will cleanly take care of him. And now he's got an extra angle to deal with. Akel, sure, he's scoped in. And he's able to find that one. But you can't help but feel a bit of turbulence in the air. Copenhagen Wolves not really with the comfort they would have liked, especially if they keep on pressuring Akel like this. Finally, the fight back, the trade. But Juan Flatro deep in the corner, looking to take the fight for himself, but Nixon comes out on top. Shelfie, the only one not to reveal this position so far, but you better know he's not coming from the same direction as the others.
No kid.
The Wolves picking all positions possible, but most importantly, staying silent. Unseen, unshown, unrevealed. Nixon swings right in the nick of time. 7-5 will be the score. Copenhagen Wolves barely having the lead after that one. That's the vibe I get from that. Evidence? Yeah, trust me. Okay, pistol is out though. Hit Mix. Trying their presence in mid early, but it doesn't feel like they're going to go for this deep push. And Copenhagen Wolves aren't really buying a potential A hit. Nixon hasn't heard a thing towards May. So it's just Copenhagen Wolves really entering a trap.
Hello.
Beretta's doing a lot here. Julko still with 7 bullets remaining in his chambers. Bielani with 2. And it seems like it's going to be a simple endeavor to just clean up Shelfie's life as well. Julko can spray down. He wants to make sure no more bullets remain, or at least he leaves the caves of Ancient filled with lead. But other than that, double HEs early in mid, but Mix looking to go for something aggressive of their own. The mollies do prohibit that though. It means they are locked in position, and so much mid control allows Copenhagen Wolves a nice crunch if needed. Bielani knows he's being tested. Takeware walks in to try and help out, but it's to no avail. Mix completely take over. Julko wanting to show his crown, deny the bomb part for a little while, but it still stands still 3v3 as the Copenhagen Wolves look to converge on these positions. Oh dear me. They're not slowing down though. Julko needs to take care of his left-hand side. He's not able to do that on time. Nixon all that remains, but he's overwhelmed by all sorts of positions. And finally, Mix get a say on the T side. And right back into Jag he goes. Mix very patient with their approach. Oh, the turnaround from Synopsy. Nixon thought he caught a timing there. Bielani also falls. Julko taking a wider stance. This is tough, but he still gets it done. Double kill for Julko. And all of a sudden, Copenhagen Wolves are right back in this fight.
Yeah, now you know Jorko's low, but the two players already making their way out the A bomb side.
Mateos ready, flashed out, having to be a little bit more patient with his teammates' arrival. Bomb goes down, 2v3 now, anyone's game.
Look at the aggression from ARCRED. That could change everything.
Big nade. Jorko out. And like you said, ARCRED with a game changer of a position. Doesn't quite know where the rest of them are.
He doesn't know Tapeware is crossed.
Being diligent. And it gives time for the remaining two players to approach the site now.
They're ready.
ARCRED looks to watch Tapeware all away.
No.
Mateos wins his own individual fight. Mix had everything aligned there. They had everything ready to get that round in their favor, but Copenhagen Wolves with a big stop sign held up.
The same way that 33 were able to dominate against NAP Impact earlier today, the same way we were looking at the Copenhagen Wolves just doing whatever they want in the server with Mix.
Duffy, he knows he's got a lot on his hands here. Knows he needs to step up, and that's exactly what he does. Side by side with one flat through. Finally, something goes right at the start of a round.
And that's one of those moments. You're just looking at the kill feed. You're looking at the scoreboard, and you're asking yourselves, why? Why did we give them 12 rounds before we won a round like this? That could have done so much for our mental and our chances. It's a clean one. They don't lose a single player. I guess it's just the laws of Counter-Strike.
Lock this one in. They've got Riflery available. Safe to say, though, they lose this round. Economical collapse incoming. Mix of a potential to win a couple in a row.
No, this is and this is a word I'm trying to establish. It's a comebackable game.
Comebackable?
Yeah.
Like
comebackable situation. Completely doable.
First blood goes to Mix, though. Tapeware. There's the one dropping early, but Nixon is able to fight his way back. Thing is, how is he that low and still gets to? This is a lot more competitive than it should have been, I feel. Mix have had more players engaged in that fight. This is good timing for Jorko.
Yep.
Oh, but Juan Flacho has the better angle on that position. First to find the head. And it's Bielani all by himself. He's got a safe. He might have a timing to catch one player off, but instead, he's the one that gets shut down. Like we said, Ted, an opportunity for 2 rounds to be gathered in a row. This is it.
Now, 3 rounds later, you're just looking at a pretty doable situation without an AWP in the mix as well. A little bit light on ECLOT, and the T's looking to go for something a little bit quicker in towards B.
It might be 3 rounds of difference, but it's only 2 buy rounds that Copenhagen Wolves have got a chance to win this. Bielani able to find the first pick, but it's not without its fight back. Mix knocking on this B-side door, and they are barging right through, disrespecting anyone in their path. And it's quick work for Mix this round. Copenhagen Wolves nowhere to be seen.
We're down to another high buy here for the CT side. Tapeware on the max 7. Matthews on a Deke. Looking for something.
Oof. Well, there goes your chance. You're hoping that Tapeware can find something. Turn that mag 7 into a swag 7. Can't expect too much from it. A couple of upgrades, though. Jorko provides the opportunity for another rifle to be picked up. Juan Flacho down to 27 points of health. Suddenly, Mix are sweating.
They know they've got him trapped. Even if the B-bomb side is open right now, Flacho should be a dead man. They know he's in towards Donut, shouldn't be moving around too much. This is still a doable round. They could just ignore him. Just let him be.
Oh, Synopsy. What's the choice? Smoke out in cave. Motion heard. Mag 7 connects once, maybe even twice there. But the cleanup is true for Bielani. A Deagle double kill. Bomb dropped, and Juan Flacho 40 seconds to figure this one out. Less than optimal amount of health, right? 1 Deag, and he is dead. Copenhagen Wolves, who would have thought the way this game started was off the back of a pistol win, and it's the way it ends 13-10. And it's Copenhagen Wolves with the 2-0 victory over Mix, knocking their opponents out of the tournament.